Yes, yo, you don't stop, Big John. Come rocking the short shot. It's the fastest freaking show in MLB. Absolutely anyway. With your boy. With your fucking boy. Big Johnny Stud coming to you worldwide. Brooklyn, New York is always coming out that damn chair. As always, play ball. Ladies and gentlemen, follow me up on Twitter at John Legaza. Follow Sharper than a Razor. Same handle over on Substack, where $2 a week, get your 5 pounds of shit in a 3-pound box. We're going to fucking stuff it in here. Rocking around the clock. It's everything. What isn't it? All the stats, the ranks, you could fucking handle projections. I don't even know anymore. We actually did some betting and we won. Are we allowed to do that? Holy crap. Let's go. So I don't know. I'm tired of fucking shaking my ass trying to get people to sign up. Do the right thing. Don't be a cheap bitch. Support good people doing good work. We're out here busting our ass. You see how certain companies be treating people, and it ain't so nice. All right, come on. We know how to do this. We know what we're up to. It's the best part of waking up. The pitching sheets in your mug, bro. All right, let's do the thing. Full game 15 slate. No time to waste. These shows go entirely too long. There is absolutely such a thing as too much me. Me. Welcome me. Let's go. Yo, you got to be a little crazy to be doing this shit. All right, we're going to try and blow through all the games. It never works. It's planned. I'm going to try and work backwards, right? We're going to start from the algo tab. And then if we see something, we'll go sniff around rather than the truffle pig, on fucking high alert. All right, let's start at the very top. Jake the Snake DeGrom on the bump for the Rangers on the road in B-More to face Zach Eflin and the Orioles. I think, let me just check. I think I had a weather something or other here. Yeah, big-time wind blowing out. You know what? Let me show you what kind of guy I am, just to show you how this shit rocks and rolls. I actually made a slight mistake. I forgot to mark my board. When I have to make a manual adjustment, I put a little wind emoji so nobody double counts. A lot of times that's how you explain these wonkified totals that might not make so much sense. The 8 not so crazy, but it probably would have been 7 or 7.5 with Jake on the bump with the, the weather's not great. No one is really hitting quite yet. I've got Texas, for a clean win anytime. I mean, this is almost a hard rule at this point. If you've been following along the work, if you're even somewhat sharp at all, there's always a bias on favorites. It's very hard to have a model compensate for that. In fact, I've been going on and on about this with Claude. I'm going to present it for paid subscribers on Substack. How there are going to be disparities in edge. It's not a flaw in the model. If there are all these heavy totals, we're like deciding right now if I should make manual stretch adjustments, right? Bring the highest team up and just the lowest team down a little bit. What all that's doing, again, is making a manual adjustment to try and appease the lines. We got to keep an eye on the book, but we don't want to be a slave to it. Anyway, anytime that we're in line printing a fair market value on the listed line, you got to fucking take that shit, man. Of course, the F5 is a little bit more expensive when we're dealing with the DeGrom, plus distance may be a little bit of an issue today. Not in general, maybe just today. So I may pay to get to the F5. I'm trying to bring up freaking BetStamp has been really good to me, but I don't have it. Best available. I don't know what the hell I'm doing. All right, I'm going to have to back off of this. They have a shopping menu and stuff, and maybe you have to click through for F5s, which kind of defeats the purpose. All right. So I'm going to mark myself down for Texas F5. If anyone is unfamiliar or thinking about signing up, right now I'm in combine mode, so I'm trading on paper. I do post those picks, but being very clear, I'm tracking everything. But just being very clear that I'm just going live. I bet on paper first. When the season starts, I like to show a week or two worth of profit, which is your green light, right? The combine. You pass the combine, now you can fucking go live. That's a really great lesson for people. It's a good way, not only, to you kind of check your work, make sure you don't put the cart before the horse. It also might save you a couple of deposits if something's changed, if the ball is a little bit different or something is off in your modeling or something, you don't want to get smoked out of the box where you might have picked up on that and said, oh, wow, I was not profitable for a week. Now you're not profitable for 2 weeks or 3 weeks. And that idea in itself, that combine double fucking bomb, has saved followers, subscribers, readers, whatever of mine, friends of mine, friend of mine, friend of ours, double meaning, if you know what I know, that it'll save you a ton of fucking capital. And that in itself, again, pays the $2 a week to get your fucking hooked up with us. Don't be a cheap bitch. So I think I'm going to just go with Jake and move it on. Eflin, I think Eflin is not bad, but like last year, he was terrible. 5.9 ERA, 1.4 whip. The command and the control has been good, but was a fucking pitching machine. The offense for Baltimore, gotten again, another fucking slow start. You can see it up on the board. I have split also. We could split left and right. The samples right now are really small. I think we should just be focusing on macros and even not overreacting to 2026 while we build archetypes for teams, right? The sellout teams, who's striking out, who's fucking chasing, who's making contact, who's getting lucky, who's killing the ball, leading indicators and the like. Yeah, I don't know why you wouldn't like. You gotta like DeGrom and the Rangers here. It's a little bit chalky. You can even see I've got the bullpen stuff up. The Texas bullpen has been absolutely lights out. If you want to save the money on the full game, I've got Texas for a full game also, but you could see, and again, this is all the stuff that you get. I know it could look like a lot, but that's why in the beginning of the season, I like to have the video up while I talk through it. You can see all those calculations, right? The gray side is the listed book. The other stuff is ours, right? So you can see how we have I don't know if you can actually see my mouse cursor. I'm not sure what transposes, but you can see the rightmost column in white. The fair line value on the F5 is a little bit closer to the number, then it begins to kind of consolidate on the full game. Bullpen stuff is wonky. I think Baltimore's offense is probably better than the Rangers also. So give me Jake the Snake, and let's move it on. It's my boy, big fucking Bubba Chandler, on the bump for the Buccos. Yar, down in Cincy to face Brandon Williamson and the Reds. Okay, I was really thrown off by the total in this one. You could see, even with my manual adjustment, right, that wind symbol blowing out. I like to put on both. I have OCD. But that's for, so readers and subs don't double count. You see that I adjusted for wind blowing out, but now it's kind of going to the side. I was talking to Paquette, industry meteorologist. He's been up in the Gmail helping me out with some weather stuff that I don't really know a lot about. I'm still low on it. I'm still low. I'm a smidge over on the F5, but even that, I'm not buying it. It's a lot of, it's the weather adjustment. Under this 9. If we're getting a U9, yeah, I'm gonna take the U9. Now, I have Pittsburgh ahead by a smidge, so we could get the 9th frame. That said, that number's probably a little too close for comfort. Williamson, a little bit of a retread, but this is a skilled pitcher who's had big injury problems. He kind of came out of nowhere. As a fantasy honk, he really wasn't even on my radar as a pitcher that I know of. This is a former second-round pick a long time ago, but he's only 27. He's just never really been able to stay healthy. And if I'm not mistaken, he had a mad dog spring. Yeah, 16 and a third, but 165.92 ERA, whip combo, just about a 20 KBB. And the Reds are going to need it. So I think he's going to be effective, and the Pittsburgh offense has really been kind of fadeable. You could see up on the board, it's been pretty rough. Just a 645 team OPS, a little bit better than the Reds, though I'm still more bullish on the Reds despite the lack of production, because you could see the difference in disciplinary approaches, meaning the Reds' high K rate is not going to stick with the swinging strike chase and zone contact they're putting up. It's like a top 5 or a top six basket. They've been, it looks like a little bit unlucky because they've gotten barrels without production. They haven't really pulled it. I think it's going to come along for the Reds. Pittsburgh is getting kind of ugly, right? You're getting swing and miss plus 53, ground ball, 22 hard hits, sub 2% barrel. Again, remember, people, I don't remember any of this shit. I built a tool that's you can read fast enough to think along with. That's the key to success in this thing of ours. So I like Bubba over Williamson, but he had some command and control stuff. I want to just pump the brakes. I don't have much faith in the Pirates with as much as I like Wilson. So I'm to an under. The bullpens have been a little bit sketchy. I think they might be better than the numbers. The F5 is U 4.5, and I might prefer the full game 9 on that one. So give me FGU 9 on the show pick, and let's move that bitch on. Next up, it's PJ Poulin is going to be opening up for the Nationals. They're on the road. It was Zach Littell. I think he's going to get the follow. It becomes very hard to model this stuff when workload is up for grabs. I think Poulin just relieved last year. Hold on, I could confirm. Give me 1 second. 29-year-old lefty. I mean, we haven't gotten a lot from him. He's never been really able to crack the major, spending a lot of time in the upper levels. The numbers are not terrible. Maybe a bit of a command and control problem, but you don't get a lot of home runs. I mean, you could see where this might be serviceable. Again, I just think the workload stuff for Poulin might be a bit brutal. Yeah, he's already pitched in relief a couple times. I didn't even know that, so shame on me. So, yeah, you're going to get an inning or something. I guess. Yeah, again, shame on me for not picking up on this. I'm sure there's at least one person out there who may have commented. There was a comment. Go on YouTube, subscribe to the Corked Stats channel, be a pal, comment, and I will get to them at the end. I see the notification, but I'm not going to bring them up because I don't want to get distracted because we got to keep this fucking train on. Oh, the lesson that I wanted to get to was the shame on me. We see more of this now. Lefty openers against teams with strong lefty bats up front, right? The idea is probably to try and keep Littell away from the Schwarber and Harper in the first, and then you get Littell, who's okay. I'm afraid, right? He was a little bit behind. I kind of want to see him first. I'm bearish on him. So I don't really like Poulin. He's up against Andrew House Painter. I mean, how could you not like what you've seen from Painter? He's a good example of, as much as I'm like a Herb for the spreadsheet, right? You could see everything was pretty gross for Painter last year. 5.26, 149 ERA whip combo. He couldn't get ahead. His even control was a little bit whack. Too many line drives, getting hit too hard, way too many home runs. Not what we expected, from like these super highly touted uber prospects. But the thing is this, Painter had the TJ. So here we could actually, let's go IG Big Nose style for this. Just a quick lesson on returning starters from TJ, Tommy John, and our expectations. This stuff comes up all the time. I've really kind of fallen in line with this theory of the honeymoon phase, which in short is once a pitcher gets Tommy John, you give them their 12 or 15 months of recovery, whatever it is. Let them come back and throw. We're avoiding them during that return call. Looking for velo, looking for innings, worried about command and control. Those are the things that drag down production in the first place. But it's also something now with this track record that we look for improvement on. Give me all these guys the next time around. All of them. All the TJ guys in the honeymoon phase, N+2, I guess, right? Surgery, N+1, out, N+2. Give me that. That's the Painter thing in a nutshell. Had the TJ, returned, stunk, but finished healthy. People are disgusted by him right when we're getting ready to buy low. So there's a little lesson how I'm approaching these guys. Again, Painter, first of all, he's only 22, former first round pick. This kid has the goods, all the things you would dream up of in a lab. Mid 30 Ks with sub 5% walk. He doesn't give up home runs, induces whiffs, and gets ground balls like he's a machina. And you didn't have to pay for it. So that's the whole thing. I have Painter in fantasy leagues. He's not even a starter. You sit on him and wait. If the guy ends up being a beast, you could trade another pick. You could stream him off your bench. Like it never hurts to have too much pitching. Same goes for real life. So regardless of the Painter stuff, we're all about him today. Let's take a look at the offenses really quick. Washington is starting to hum. Bit too many ground balls. That's been a year-over-year thing. But they're not striking out despite all the chase. You see the intense swing rate, anything over 49% or higher. So they're very aggressive. They're making it happen. Now, maybe they're getting away with a little bit. High BABIP, producing average, scoring runs. But it's a lot of line drives. Like line drives are going to lead to BABIP that, let's see if that's reflected. You can't see that. It's cut off. In the ex-Wobacon, see it's not. Right, high ex-Woba, low ex-Wobacon, Woba, Oba, OB on base. So be careful using ex-Woba as a damage metric. Ex-Woba con is isolated again. You get that end time split with the fucking package. Good luck to you getting that first cheap as I do it. Good luck. Go waste your fucking time. It's so stupid. It really is. Like, I built the thing that I would pay for, right, when I was younger. Like, trust me. I don't sell shit. I would never attach my name to fucking garbage. It's never why you see me never shill nonsense on social media or work for shitty companies. I don't roll like that. I'd rather, do my own thing. Philly's offense has been trash, and the disciplinary basket is not where we want it to be before we're looking for kind of improvement. Now, when they've made contact, they've done damage. You can see 377 XCon is pretty good. Anything over 375 is good. Over 400 is very good. But the Phillies batting 189 as a squad, no extra base hits. I mean, the contact is there, and I guess that's the glimmer of hope, but it looks pretty ugly right now. It looks pretty ugly for the Phils. We're going to want them in a situation against a contact pitcher, which I think is what you get today. So, you got to be careful with trying to short these really talented teams. Sorry, I was looking for my Undertaker sound. Boom. I got to find it on my new soundboard here. So, yeah, I'm expecting the Phillies to kind of get up off the mat. Is it going to happen today? I don't know. So I probably not looking to pay any kind of juice, which I normally lead with, but I didn't. Phillies coming in minus 170. Gosh, that is really high. I do have him for a clean win, but it feels a little fishy. Cover is also in play. Also feeling fishy. We're also at home. That cover, by the way, is minus 1.5. I just got an alert that the 9 that I was under went 9.5. Now, I didn't get any heads up for Philly boost. Yeah, Philly's got the wind out. Hot, but not humid. I guess I could adjust up a little bit. I think the public is a little too hot on this game. I'll give you the 9. I'm at 8.7. Like I give you the 9. Where I have a 5.4, I have a 6.3. You're not going to get me to 9.5. I don't want to go under these fucking guys, man, for real. Whatever. So for me, it's 7 million words waste of my time to go chalk Phillies or leave it alone. Next up, we got Pale Ho, Chicago White Sox, wrong side of town. Looks like Eric Fetty on the bump for Chicago. They're on the road in Miami to face Jansen Junkballer and the Marlins minus 144 on the Marlins side. Fetty Wap was pretty gross last year, 5.49, 1.52 ERA whip combo, all the indicators north of 5, 2.5 KBB, 7 swinging strike. This is one of the worst starting profiles you're going to find anywhere. Flip side, Jansen Junk probably not getting enough love from the public. The public is always chasing sex, right? Everybody wants strikeouts and sexy time and GIFs and all that stuff, where Junk isn't going to give you that, but he's going to give you some real life pitching goodness. 1.14 whip through 110 starter innings, 3% walk, 31 ball, 33 chase, 67 first strike. That'll play, man, with the ground ball rate. That'll play. So you got to go definitive pitching edge to Junk. The Marlins are also hitting, showing discipline. White Sox have hit for power, but the disciplinary basket is terrible. And this is how you find a real floor for a team. 35K, 15.5 swinging strike, 35 chase, 80 zone contact. Like we mentioned, Junk not really a strikeout guy. However, he does induce chases and does keep it down. Maybe he gets the better of these White Sox, man. It is going to be really tough to pay the freight. Again, White Sox bullpen, the ERA north of 10, Sierra at 5.5, 2.4 whip. Teams batting .330 off the White Sox bullpen, and the Marlins have been just unhittable, right, with Fairbanks back there. So, man, I'll go set. Yeah, it says you're paying for the Marlins, which 140, I guess, could be worse. It's just kind of a crap. Like they feel like a crappy team. And I have this one. I got to find it. I have that shit on record somewhere. Damn. Now I have to figure out what fucking show it was on. Maybe it was a future show where I said the Marlins reminded me of the Nationals World Series run, just archetypically. Power pitching, and a couple of really sneaky young bats. Like James Wood, I mean, fantasy players know, top, 35 hitter by ADP. To step forward, it's even better. And I think Garcia is legit. I think Dalen Lyle is going to be a baller. I really like C.J. Abrams. It looks like Brady House is taking a step forward. Nasim Nunez, right? That not everyone is going to mash. Some teams are going to not strike out and make contact and then steal and drive you fucking nuts on the base pass. Take advantage of a lot of these teams that play bad defense. There's a lot of that also. So yeah, I like the Marlins. The models even give me a little nudge, and it's like, you could play the cover here, but I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that. White Sox bullpen is so bad, and we got the home field. So I would go full game and move it on. Let's develop the algo board. Next up, it's Ryan Feltner. Feltner damn near killed her on the bump for the Rocks, plus 233 dog up in Toronto to face old Blue Eye, chairman of the board, Max Scherzer, on the bump for the Jays. This is a perfect example of what I wanted to mention before. Okay, so here we have, a tremendous minus 245 favorite. For argument's sake, I did not do the manual adjustment. However, and I think there's at least a few people out here, this is going to be really interesting. So, quickest tangent to learn something, right? A lot of something that's not really happening out there. And if you want to toss me $2 a week to fucking learn shit and laugh at butt jokes, you can do that too. Now, here's where the problem is. So, again, just very quickly, the 3 gray boxes that I was mentioning before, your listed American odds, Kalshi odds, right? Those are equated. Then the third one is the difference in the book odd and mine. However, if you just take a quick look up and down the board, right? Below 2, below 4, below 2, below 2, below 2, below 1, at 3. That's a lot of consistency. The outliers, which were bothering me, and the reason I wanted to address this, because people say, well, if you have 10% edge, shouldn't you automatically bet it? And the answer, right, theoretically is yes. Practically and pragmatically, I would say no in these scenarios, right? In the scenario when you're north of minus 230, I think there's that adjustment that needs to take place. I don't like to do this stuff until I can fully backtest it. The lesson I wanted to give, because these boards will update, let's do that adjustment in real time, and then I'm going to back it out. Hopefully I don't drive anybody looking at this shit nuts. So how the hell how would I do that? Oh shit, maybe it's I'm laughing at myself. It's not as simple as I thought. Because like I could, oh shit, no, that didn't work. I could shift the odds. I would have to. Oh yeah, shift the totals. Okay, so let's go with a half run, just for argument's sake. So this one goes. Toronto goes 5-5, and the Rockies go 2-8. So there is that. Uh, between a third and a half a run stretch adjustment. Remember, higher up, lower down. A stretched adjustment brings our score in line with the rest of the model results. So this is what Claude and I are now testing to see if we can green light it to go forward. So it's not so much to say you should or should not jump at these edges. It's, I don't know if the edge is so true when we're in these juiced scenarios, right? These hyper premium scenarios where the public only knows favorite. It ends up becoming a self-fulfilling prophecy. That in itself should not move the model, right? Bad betting, right? Should let bad betting, right? This is kind of an, oh my God, we're just like fucking. This is the theory that's changed over time, where books used to, when it was Gino and Vito on the corner, would take money to balance out the payouts. Now the book just pays attention to who's betting, right? If the public is shoveling money on a bad number, they're not going to adjust. Not say they used to. I don't want to speak for books. I can only speak for illegal. I can only speak for the illegal bookmakers. I know. Anyway, so there's our adjustment, and how a slight, upgrade, manual adjustment, tracking of movements, right? Market machinations is the proper terminology. How that would affect us, and exactly what we're doing in these first weeks. So I'm going to back those out. But it looks like, I just want to prepare people for this. If they start to ask, like, what happened to the edges? Where were the outliers? If these are all consistently bringing us within range, I'm going to add it. Right? Because, that's what we're trying to do. I'd like to give people a better idea. Now, that doesn't change the fact this game, Toronto should fucking mop the floor. With Colorado, the Rockies, let's get back on track now. The Rockies have been terrible. The approach is just worse than it could be. They're doing the sellout thing, right? It's all strikeout, anything to elevate a pulled batted ball, but you need a little bit of a better contact profile if you're that aggressive, or you're going to floor out all the time, which is right now is what they're doing. You'd imagine Max, who's always pretty effective, look up on the board. I know the ERA was really high. I'm not really buying it. I see the approach stuff, and I see 16.5 KBB, 33.5 ball, 84 zone contact. Yeah, it looks like Max stuff to me. Yeah, he works up in the zone, gives up some home runs, but I think Toronto is probably going to mop the floor with Feltner, and I'm kind of waiting for the bottom to fall out of this Rockies bullpen. They've gotten outs, but they haven't walked anybody, which has been a strength, but they're getting barreled, they're getting crushed, they're missing middle. They just haven't been thoroughly punished yet. And I think the flip side for the Blue Jays right now have an 8.5 ERA, 1.74 whip. The Sierra at 2.9, the KBB is like 20, and the inputs are strong. So I think Toronto's bullpen will improve. I think the Rockies bullpen is going to downgrade. I think Toronto kills them, and I don't know if I could get any money on this bitch, man. I'd be like on the cover. I would just be looking for the ass kicking, because the Rockies are just that bad. I guess the other look would be if you think there might be homers to play for the over, but my worry there right? This is another piece of that lesson I was mentioning before. When you have such a heavy favorite at home, the other part of the calculation that's a must, right? That was already done, is you really need to lower your plate appearance projections for the home team by 1/9, right? You need to eliminate that ninth frame. If you get it, you should have just bet the Rockies or bet the over, pretty much. So it's Toronto chalk. I mean, I guess I'm chalky again today, but I'm gonna put the run line just to keep it saucy and stay within the model. Again, sometimes I just got to go with the model. If the model is giving me over 1.5 difference in that finish column, I'm going to go get it. Okay, next up, this one feels like an over or nothing, but for whatever reason, I'm just not getting it. It's got to be the offenses. Aaron Savali on the bump for the A's on the road versus Jose Suarez and the Braves. I don't know what the fuck we're going to get here. Totals moved to 5 and 9, and I'm not quite over, which is bothering me. Like, I feel like we should be over on this one. Braves offense starting to wake up. This has been the thing. The Athletics offense is so bad. There's like, unless you're just again manually boosting them, you could even like regress these numbers and they're going to be terrible. It's really, really bad. A's have got to get it going. Just they're pressing, right? This is what pressing looks like, because at least the Rockies, when they make contact, are pulling and lifting the ball. This is just shit. This is just 40K 50 ground ball. Like, you're immediately getting demoted. If this were a player, we'd never let a player get through 144 plate appearances of this. So this is really kind of brutal. And I'll admit to the level of uncertainty here, right? That's the admission I have to give. But damn, I don't know why I don't have fucking over here. It bothers me a little bit when something like stinks like this. The wind is blowing in, and it's not humid there, and the heavy favorites at home. I'm just walking you through how we might have fallen a little bit short. I'm on a fade here. Don't touch this one. I mean, Suarez was good the last time we saw him. Whatever. Don't talk yourself into bets. That's more good advice. All right, we're at the 30-minute mark and we're like halfway through. And I stopped the bullshit. So, all right, maybe if we hustle up, we can actually get this bitch going. Let's get the train back on the tracks. This one should be a lot of fun. Probably under or nothing. Sugar Shane McClanahan on the bump for the flat fucking fish from Florida, plus 120 dog down in Milwaukee to face Sheriff Woody, Brandon Woodruff, and the Cheesemakers, minus 127 on the Brewer side. This one's got to be F5U4. In fact, it is, right? It had to be, but I had to check. Yesterday, our F5U4 read was good, right? That game finished 2-0. So, especially before the weather is nuts, I'm trying to expand my mind, open your mind, man, to going under U4. It's not something I do often, but it feels a little flawed. Yeah, I'd love 4.5. Who wouldn't? Now, my bookie has been offering, they now offer alt F5 totals, which is cool. You can hit me up for a referral if you're not, shit's not available where you are, or if taxes are a fucking massive burden, or if, you hate fucking DraftKings because they suck. Fuck them. They don't pay me. Neither does my bookie, but the pricing is better. So, I mean, for me, that's enough. So let's see if I could wrangle up this fucking old stuff. These things are such a pain in the balls to find all the time now. Yeah. Come on. So freaking slow, man. All right. Minus 150 to go under the 4.5. I don't know. If I was parlaying, I'd probably pay to keep it under. But I guess you could make it same argument for it. Well, the 4 is the push instead of the win. Yeah, I'm to the under. I'm going to just put F5U4. I think both these guys are really effective on a per inning basis. I did not get a weather ring. It looks like now it's starting to blow out a little bit. Not a great sign for an under. But both these guys fucking shoved. I mean, we haven't seen Shane in a while, but he came out looking good. Velo is there. He's really sharp. Same for Woodruff. Woodruff was like legit one of the best pitchers on a per inning basis last year. When these guys' arms are attached, they're usually pretty fucking great. So I'm not too worried about the offenses kind of regardless. I guess they've both hit. Brewers on fire, man. Stealing bases, hitting for average, great approach, too many ground balls. But if you're doing all the other things, it'll work. Because they're also taking walks, so they're just a nightmare, right? Getting on, stealing bases, balls in play. That's the Brewers, right? I need 1980s, right? That's the 1980s archetype. So Brewers are the 1980s. Rays not far behind. They don't run in the same way. They don't walk in the same way, right? So it's not quite the same. But they're hitting. I'm still leaning under. I think pitching rules the day here. But if you're not buying it, again, weather and like good offenses, I could buy that. No worries. All right, let's move on to the next one. I have such a bad habit of getting hung up on stuff, trying to not say force, but just, making sure I cover everything. I hate the idea of leaving people flat, although this show is fucking free right now. Support good people doing good work. Go over to YouTube, subscribe to the channel, and you could comment, and I'll read it at the end if you have questions, Next up, I'll go on the board. We got Jose Soriano on the bump for the Angels on the road against Jameson Taillon and the Cubbies. I am a little surprised that I don't have the Angels modeled ahead. Like my gut says Angels ahead. However, if we're getting a plus on the F5 run line, like that's my spot. Fuck, it's a little expensive. It's minus 130. That's the play that I like. You can see I have them modeled pretty close, but whenever I have a favorite, especially like a minus 140 favorite right at 2, notice the totals are super low, 7 and 3.5, because the wind is blowing in like crazy. Man, I like the Angels. Again, it's not crazy model strength, though there's value, right? Because the Angels are in at 133. The problem is the F5 dumps to plus 114, and that difference in price kind of dumps the edge calculation and fucks up the run line. Though I take these run line, like this is like these are my bets. We got them yesterday, right? All the kind of crappy teams. Right now, Nats came through for us. Several of the shitty teams were awesome yesterday. Unfortunately, the A's did not get home. I liked Lopez over fucking Elder every time. This fucking guy, every time you two, every time, he burns my ace. But anyway, que sera, don't be afraid to take underdogs in baseball, right? We had Cleveland yesterday. Don't be afraid to take underdogs. This is when you get them, right? When you think you have a bit of a pitching edge. That's when you do it. And the offenses are, I think the Cubs offense is better than the Angels. Let's do a quick temp check. Angels, again, this is not the worst, man, because you're not quite a sellout if you don't chase. Remember, that's the thing. So Angels, Rockies sell out. Angels sell out plus. Like, you almost, I used the term Yankees yesterday, but that's what this looks like. The fallacy with the Yankees is that despite the approach, they don't strike out. The Yankees do strike out. They just don't chase. So despite liking the Cubs offense, I mean, Soriano can get anybody. He's a ground ball machine. He's got a little more swing and miss than Taillon, who's basically going to pitch to contact. And if you're going to pitch a contact to the Angels, they've been doing damage. So even with the wind blowing in, I think we get this one home. Next up, Kodai Senga and the Let's Go Mets go on the road under the arch to face the Redbirds and Andre Aparante going for the Cards. Cardinals doing the devil magic thing, of course. Mets 3-1, Cards 2-2. Senga looking really sharp this spring when the fork, is working. It's legit like one of the best pitches in all of baseball, and he'll just force feed it to motherfuckers. So I wasn't really high on Cody coming in, but I do understand the potential here. And man, he was outrageous. He was fucking outrageous through the spring, and not to overreact to spring stuff, but again, we know he has a very high ceiling on a per inning basis when he's healthy. And I don't like to doubt that fucking pitch because I was a huge fan. He went 2 2/3, gave up 2, struck out 2, and then 3 scoreless, struck out 5, 4 scoreless, struck out 4, only 1 total walk. Yeah, I think the Mets kick ass today. Maybe we're seeing the underbelly of the Cardinals. I don't think the offense is very good. They were hitting the ball hard, but just on its face, I don't think the talent is really there. I guess maybe I'm shortchanging him. Again, Weatherholt is a really great piece to add, and I think Herrera is a legit MLB hitter. I guess Burleson, who I thought of as maybe more kind of platoon guy, listen, against the righties, he's gonna be good. And like Wayne Gorman, Walker Church, like they all had me like, but they all seem to be playing to the upper range. That said, I still think it's Metsies. Cardinals bullpen has been a damn train wreck. So sticking with the chalk, I got Mets with the win. All right, let's move on to the next one. Who the F want what? Brian Bellissimo and the Red Laundry plus 133 dogs on the road against Hunter Brown minus 138. I bet Hunter Brown anytime. He is a favorite at minus 140 or less. I don't think Bayo is that great. I'm not in love with the Astros offense, though they started to click yesterday. And Jordan Alvarez is unconscious right now, and that'll help. Now that shit, this moved to minus 149. F5 is minus 163. And I pulled my odds from Kalshi, which means 58. I have to do math. 58, 43. No, 58 is 138. Okay, so yep. All right, so again, I was talking about this earlier on. I don't have the bandwidth. I need a young apprentice. Like, is there a young person out there that's really fucking driven? That's like thirsty. I think you have to be probably good with tech. You don't have to be a wizard. I'm not. But I think you got to be good with tech. Long story short, we got to be looking for our situations in the cross betting prediction market space. Now, the one heads up would be there are fees when it comes to PMs. So we have to do that accounting. But that's a live price right now. So DraftKings is minus. Wait, that crazy. They're minus 149. Oh, right. That's what I said. Minus 163 was the F5, but still there's 10 cents there. And I don't know if that's accounted for again. We got to do the math. Now, one thing you can do, even if you're not like doing all this fucking ARB stuff, is make sure you're getting the best price and definitely get your fucking hands on these prediction markets because the feeds are not crazy. And something tells me that you're going to beat that price. All I know is just be careful with the straight. Like, if you just do the straight calculation, it might mislead a touch. So I think I like this Houston thing. Now I'm kind of curious. I think I might even be able to set it for different odds. I'm not even sure. I don't want to drag you fucking people on a Mr. Toad's fucking wild ride, but oh look, you can look at that shit. So just a second. Hold on, let me get back to the baseball page. All right, so Houston minus 149. No, it's the same. Okay, so it's got to be accounted for somewhere in here. Anyway, before I twist myself into a fucking knot, upset about the pricing, man. I really should have picked up on that earlier today. Even if I hadn't run the model, I like I said, I always bet Brown under minus 140. I would have snatched that one up, and now it's a little bit pricey. I'm a little bit worried about trying to shove around the Red Sox offense. I do think they're pretty good. Astros do have the edge, no question. Bullpen probably a wash, though neither's been good. They're both a little terrifying, frankly. I like Boston on its face. So I guess I'm just adding to the utter chalkiness going on today's stuff today. But I mean, this kind of smells like a DDP, like, or I know it's the worst, and some boomer is going to be fucking rolling their eyes, but this feels like a money line pairing type of day, which again, just I know makes some people fucking sick. But like Mets plus Astros plus 170, I think they both get there. Was there another one? Toronto's is heavy. I don't like to pay that regardless. Miami's starting to move. You fuckers are hammering Miami in real time because now they're at. Oh, you son of a bitch! Stop betting on my analysis. Damn it! Damn it! I gotta fix this now. 29. Shit. All right, so now Miami is getting a little bit pricey. I wouldn't like that. I mean, to me, there's a real difference between Jansen Junk and the fucking Marlins and getting that same price on Hunter Brown and the Astros, regardless if you're playing the White Sox and the Red Sox. I don't give a crap what color the hose are. Yeah, give me Brown for the win. I'm with the model, and again, we're a few percentage points off, but I think it's baked into the favorite. All right, next up, it's the Tigres leaving Detroit Rock City 8 Mile, heading to the desert to face Brandon Pfaadt and the Snakes with shapes on their back. Let's try and blow through this nighttime shit. I'm getting such a fucking headache today, man. I don't know what's going on. I got sinus stuff going on. Okay, I've got even money Detroit. I just got to double check. Is that correct? Yeah, even money Detroit. I've got them ahead. And for me, it's simple as that. Pfaadt was a little bit behind in his spring because he had the oblique. I think I like Mize on its face better. You can see Pfaadt had the 5.25 ERA. Approach wise, I mean, Mize got better control, generates more whiffs. Yeah, I think we have the pitching edge. I might call the offense is a wash. Detroit struck out a little bit more. But again, they are taking walks, and if Pfaadt doesn't have the control, then they'll be glad to take the free pass. They've lifted, they pulled. The homers haven't come for the Tigers. They're coming because they're hitting doubles. In Arizona, who people are ready to throw dirt on the grave. Myself had them pegged for worst record at 150 to 1. They're 1-3. Is anyone 0-4? Marte, Carroll, Perdomo, Moreno. It's strong. The bottom half I'm meh on. But again, if Thomas is going to be good this year and Lawler is going to be good, You could see how they're not the worst team. I like Detroit. I also don't like the Arizona bullpen for shit. Have they been bad at least? I'm not even sure. Let me check. Yeah, the Arizona bullpen has been bad. They are bad. Give me the Tigers. I don't know how the Tigers are winning today. So this is like a strong play. Like a actual put like American currency on this one. No pairing, no cuteness. Yeah, I like Detroit over Arizona. I think we have the edge. I used to call it a three-phase edge, right? Starting pitching, offense, and bullpen. Even if they're two or slight, I think the third edge is stark. And Detroit is mispriced. Next up, Logan Webb and the Giants minus 133 against Herman Marquez and the Padres. Another one that the bottle is telling me to pump my brakes a little bit, but I'm really close on the again. I'm closer on the F5, but the F price is not the full game price. Yesterday's price is not today's price. That shit is minus 160. So you got to pay heavy freight to isolate the Giants to Webb. The thing with a guy like Webb is not only is the Giants bullpen good, he also goes deep. Where the Padres bullpen is good, but Marquez is terrifying. This feels like people may be overweighing Giants offense. Padres offense has also been bad. I think people are overreacting to smallish samples here. The Padres are cold also, right? I mean, that's the thing that gets me. If we were talking about, this Giants offense that just can't find the groove, they're completely lost to the plate, but they were playing this team with the, 390 team ex-Woba that was just doing everything correctly and stealing and getting on. The Padres have been fucking gross. I didn't leave it up for long enough. Look how bad this Padres offense has been. They've almost been as bad as the Giants, batting 179 as a team with a 512 OPS, a 36% chase rate, 55 team WRC plus. They've been fucking horrendous. So don't be afraid to take the pitching edge. What I think is a monster pitching edge. Give me Logan Webb. Next up, it's my New York Yankees. Max Fried egg on the bump, minus 104 both ways against Logan Gilbert, NDM. Sorry, you see me, I'm like closing my eyes. My fucking eyeball is starting to kill me. I don't know if we have any headache people out there. Holy crap, it's the worst, man. It is the fucking worst. Yeah, I ever got they just wreck you out of nowhere, and oh fuck. If you never suffered and be glad. It's almost like a back injury in a way, that it's this thing that kind of comes. It doesn't last forever, and when it's gone, you're like 110%. But if someone has never experienced them, they just can't understand. Like, I didn't always get headaches, and until I got one, I thought, shame on me, I'm going to take my L in public. I thought people were bullshitting. I thought people used them as fucking excuses. I really did. And then I got one and was like, oh my God, kill me. Somebody strike me down. And you get the signal. I'm getting it on my orbital. I got to get out of here and take a fucking handful of fucking Motrin. All right, so I feel pretty good about the Giants. Again, we're not expecting a ton in the way of runs, but it should be enough. Totals at 8, and yeah, give me Giants win a 4-2, 4-3 win. You know what I'm saying? All right, so Yankees and Mariners. Love the price on the Yanks, but I also love the price on the Mariners. Why? Because they're both really good. Just watch this one. Right, this is what early baseball is all about. Potential ALCS showdown between two like legit fucking aces that kind of do it a little differently. Gilbert and Moore like blow you away stuff. Fried, Moore kind of keep it down, keep it in. Though don't shortchange Gilbert. His command and control is elite, elite, elite. This guy has legit Cy Young stuff. When Fried was cruising last year and looked like a Cy Young candidate before that month-long meltdown, it didn't feel like that, again, that sexiness. It didn't feel like the sexiness was there. Where Gilbert has that, the mid-30 K rates and shit. He could just kill you totally. far as the offenses go, Yankees kind of struggling out of the box. Mariners not great either, but they've hit home runs. So, those score runs the last I checked. And has been the key to success, but they've not been great. They strike out too much. They swing and miss too much. Even the elevation is not great. Maybe I should like the Mariners. I didn't even read the algo. My eye is fucking killing me. All right, again, this one is really close. And I don't want to be inconsistent in my analysis. It was the Angels and the Cubs. I was trying to think of the game that had the close dog. Although, you know what? This one, I'm not even sure who the listed dog is. They're even matched on F5s. The Mariners run line is minus 160. So fucking expensive. I don't like playing that. I'd rather just pay the minus 116. I don't like either, but I was just getting to where, what do I like here? I like the Mariners run line. Like if I had to bet on something, which, I mean, I want to remind myself that there is a play that I like. It'd be Gilbert getting a run. We can't get that. But the Yankees are tough, can scratch it across anybody. Mariners, that one was a nail biter yesterday. Mariners ended up edging them out. And I think that's what you're going to get from these two. Clash of the fucking Titans. You know what I'm saying? All right, cool. We're right around the hour mark, which is as long as I want to go. If an hour is too long for you, if you have a little bit of patience, I put these out in podcast form and they're condensed. And it's so funny when you chop out just the breaths and the stammering and the fucking blank spaces. It'll take off fucking 10 minutes. I heard some people put me on extra speed, which I think is bananas. I talk so fast as it is. But yeah, I'm all about saving time, right? It's kind of what we do. All right, last but not least, I think we're going to back off the Cleveland pick from yesterday. Run away while we're ahead. Tanner Bybee plus 220 dog on the road against Shohei Ohtani and the Dodgers. This is just like boring and kind of weird to analyze because it seems so fucking simple. We'll see if it works out that way. Dodgers offense has not been great. That's like the back door here. I still think the Dodgers get it done because Ohtani is so filthy. But the thing I would consider, like the pivot, would be under. It's at 4 and 7.5. Let me see if that's still the case. That number actually moved to 8. I'm under the 8 because I was already under the 7.5. So when I change it on the board, everybody gets their updates in real time. Thought that was going to move. Anyway, you know what? Let's just shift the model really quick. Remember that stretch adjustment. Let's do the stretch adjustment. So if you were to remove 0.4, they're at 2.5, and you would add 0.4, they're at 4.9. I fucked something up here because this shit's not adjusting. Got something for that ass. Oh, you mother effer. I'm fucking with people's stuff. Oh my God, what am I doing? What the fuck, man? Oh shit, that's right. Hold on, I got you, party people. Hang tight, I got you. Okay, let's try that again. So we drop them to. There it goes. I don't know. I copied and pasted fucking some bullshit. All right, so again, see how it closed the gap. Just a blind raw adjustment. So when a number at minus 240, right, the public is good for a third of a run. That's just like what it is. In both directions. Now, I'm going to back that out because I already have everything posted. I already have the team totals posted, any of the video people, up on the screen. You get that every day. I print every team in order. You could play the daily leaderboard. I know people have a lot of fun with that. You could also use this for like stack identification. Then you're pairing it with DFS looking for the cheapest hitters. I also added a hitter stat page. You could see that up. All the, advanced stuff that we're used to. it's not as good as some of the more advanced individual hitter stuff, but at least we have something, where you can go check now. You get an idea of what a hitter is doing 1,000% with this. So all that and much more when you roll with us. So let's get the freak out of here. We're right at the hour mark. We got a comment. Billy Betts says, "Morning, John. Let's get it. Appreciate you very much." That comment came in from X. I didn't know you could do that. I don't know how to do that. I try to. Honestly, I have no idea what the fuck I'm doing sometimes. I know you can comment below the thread. That's not it. There's a comment on the video, apparently. So, Billy Betts, appreciate you. Morning to you, sir. Top of the morning to everybody. And with that, I think we can get the hell out of here. Maybe we'll do a quick bet recap. So my bets look like I've got Texas and Jake the Snake, F5, Pitt and Cincinnati, full game under 9, Philly and Andrew Painter beats the Nats, Whites, I wrote mine down wrong. It's not the White Sox, it's Jansen Junk and the Marlins beat the White Sox, Toronto bounces back, covers up Colorado, McClanahan and Woodruff battled out, F5, U4 in the pitchers duel. Angels keep it close through first 5 run line. Cody Sanga and the Mets get right against the Cardinals, win it outright. Houston wins it outright. Detroit wins it outright. San Fran wins it outright. And the Mariners keep it close. Though that last one, I'm not so big on going up against the fucking Yankees. Thank you for picking up what I'm putting down here at Corked Stats. Follow me on Twitter. Check out the work at Substack. Pretty please, with sugar on top. Help me keep the fucking lights on. Keep the show out there. Like, if this is popular enough, I can keep the show available. If things dry up, right, and the only people participating are paid stubs, then I got to pull it, and you get what you get, and you don't get upset. So please, support good people doing good work. Don't be a cheap bitch your whole life. But in the meantime, enjoy the games, enjoy the day. When we're done with the book, enjoy the pay. And remember, when you work this freaking hard, man, the winning feels a lot less like luck. Yo, damn right.